Atiriodo taga jawa na igua rugabiro kamenya shihadite wega thamugwanja na ndagika imwe umuthi ari tariki 15 nikeri ga kiumia mweri uyu wa mugwanja kana mweri wa gathano hehono igithiete na mbere na gutugumira icigo itiganite no ndoka guhe rugari wa mohoro maitu maria tukuharireirie kuma kona itiganite cia bururi iguku Kenya ona ja wa bururi na otamutugo ni ejetikaga mwaura wa ndungu na ndire wiki methaine ya umemerekia na njira ya ciuko twina wagaki wa muthoni huku ni Kameme TV, Facebook ni Kameme TV Kenya, YouTube ni Kameme TV Kenya na tukwambire na ciegi githomo. Kamiti ya bunge igi githomo ni tafanetie shikaro na hoge itiganite ciegi githomo kunyafara mirutire yao ya wira na uhuthiri wa kigina kiria ikoretwo igithukirwo mwaka wa kigina wa 2024 ruhonge rwa ngombo cia githomo HEB rwetetie kigina gia ciringi bilioni 48 turuma imwe indi rwathukirwo ciringi bilioni 26 guku na ruhonge rwa university funding rugithukirwo bilioni 16 turuma kenda handu ha bilioni 26 turuma 5 iria metetie unyihu uyu wa kigina ugitiga namba nene ya arutwo matekuona ngombo cia mathomo tuthie mwena ucio tuthikiririe ni mariko marahanika
from all the regions in this country. So it's not about just having one person representing a region. It's about true equity. That is what we are talking about.
Also, Chair, when you talk about equity or regional, you know you can have one community in many regions.
Yeah.
And you say it's regional balance. You can have one community in every region and you say
it's a regional balance.
It's not regional. It's not regional.
Chair. But we must make a ruling on this issue of gender. Yes. Chair, can I proceed? Chair.
This is also a target in the performance contract.
Yes.
Because we are supposed to do this. So what happened in your case? If you look at the
Chair, we have total representation in terms of our total representation of staff. In terms of gender balance, we are not far from the two-thirds requirement. Chair, you know, for the first time, and so that I avoid stigmatizing our staff, that you have some staff at different levels and others at a different level. But the comments are noted, Chair. We will, in the future recruitment, we will be able to
It's okay. Proceed.
This man, I'm sure, is very traumatized. What happens if he went to the trousers are cut off?
For women, it's okay. These guys are, please, allow him to finish. Momanyi, please. Momanyi, please. Allow him to finish, please.
Yes. Vice Chair, let's
Thank you, Chair. In terms of Chair, I want to confirm also that we have no crisis on the management side, and we are very well aligned. We continue to deliver on our mandate as is required, and we continue to disburse the funds as confirmed, Chair. In the last financial year, we were
able. Try to. Can we listen to him? Allow him to make his submissions. Please.
Chair, I wish to confirm that from the last financial year, which just ended in June, we confirmed that we disbursed all the funds that were sent to us to the universities as is required, and therefore that is one of the affirmation that we actually undertaking our mandate as required.
Gikaro kiu ya kamiti ya bunge githomo no giguthie na mbere ni gukurera ripoti iyo mohoro-ini maitu maria mekurumirira. Munini wa shifu wa mwena wa Gesha Rimuru kaunti ya Kiambu ni ahithukirwo ni muingi na kurumio bara gikuruhanio na gikuo kia mundurume uria mwiri wake urakurirwo mugunda-ini urakorirwo mugunda-ini. Munini uyu wa cibu wahonokete gikuo ciarira thutha wa kuhonokio ni maabitha borithi. Muingi riu ukienda gutaririo gitumi kia Nemwero Chalo kuragwo na njira ya unyamo o riria angiraikirio ngono na hinguriro thitango cia mahitia ma uici maria arakuruhanagio namo. Wambui wa Njuguna ari na riboti ino.
Maabitha a borithi ni marekorire haceke makigeria kuhonokia munini wa cibu wa itura ria Gesha Limuru kaunti-ini ya Kiambu thutha wake kuhithukirwo ni muingi urari na matukuya. Peter Muigai akuruhanitio na njuragano ya mundurume ukurikanite ta Nemwero Chalo na muingi uraumururukire makienda gutaririo gitumi kia Chalo kuragwo na mwiri wake gutiganirio mugunda-ini kwa Muigai.
Ile niliangalia hivi nikaona ni Chalo mwenyewe amelala hapo kwa samba. Sasa mimi nikatoka hapo kwa fenzi nikaanza kupiga nduru.
Eti kwamba huyo jamaa ameua mtu ili hadi amefungua duka yake na anakula vizuri, na juzi alienda katisia huyu mama akamwambia msijaribu kuniweka kwa mtandao na mimi ni serikali, hakuna mahali mtanipeleka.
Ona kuri uguo maabitha a borithi ni marahotire kuhonokia Muigai kuma moko-ini ma muingi na thutha ucio kuhingirwo sesheni-ini ya borithi ya Kiambu guku uthuthuria ugitabanio.
Alikuja akuua mtu juu ya mahindi peke yake, mahindi ya shilingi 40 bob.
Wanyonge wakifanya makosa wanakuja kuchukuliwa haraka.
Honge cia ugitiri ona kuri uguo ni ciranire gutabania uthuthuria niguo gukurana kiria kiracungiriirie njuragano iyo na oho gukinyira kihoto kia Chalo.
Anatafuta huyu bibi yake, yani alikuwa kuna shida kidogo, hayuko kamili.
Mimi ndio mkubwa wa assistant chief na chiefs. Kitu ya kwanza nilifanya mimi mwenyewe, kwanza nilimwambia kwanza si report kazi, kwanza asifanye kazi yoyo. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa ni hatua ya kwanza, asihudumie wananchi kwanza, na ofisi yake nikafunga.
Oho muingi ni ukiriire njuragano ino guku makiuga ni kurari na mweke wa Chalo gukinywo igoti-ini angikorwo kuna ni arekuruhanitie na uici ta uria kurerikana ithenya-ini ria kuragwo. Handu-ini ha Kameme TV, ritwa riakwa ni Wambui wa Njuguna.
Aturio kaunti-ini ya Kiambu itemini ria kuhuthia garama ya thitima hari mathukuru mothe ma muingi na makiria maria makuinukwo muthenya guothe gicigo-ini ubunge gia Kiambu. Riu thukuru icio iciambiriirie kwamukira tabarira ya kugathiko kwa mitambo ya solar iria iguteithiriria uhuthiri wa hinya wa riua. Tabarira ino iratwarithio na mbere ni wabici ya mubunge wa Kiambu Waitha Kamashoa. Mwandiki witu kuma Kiambu Jao wa Kinuthia hari na riboti ino.
Thukuru-ini wa thekondarĩ wa HGM Ting'ang'a nĩguo wa mbere kugunĩka na tabarĩra ya kũgathĩkwo solar iria irateithĩrĩria harĩ ũhũthĩri wa hinya wa riũa. Mũbango ũrĩa ũrongoreirie kũnyihia garama nene ya thogora wa thitima, ũguo thukuru kwaurwo mũrigo ũcio.
Bills zetu za stima sasa sisi zitapungua, na hiyo pesa yenye tulikuwa tunatumia 15,000 plus every month si tutatumia pahali pengine.
Nĩ tabarĩra ĩrugũrĩtio nĩ mũmbunge wa Kiambu Waitha Kamashoa kũrĩa atarĩirie muoroto wake harĩ kwehereria ũrũgamĩrĩri wa mathukuru maingĩ mũrigo mũnene.
Rũgetara ciringi 25 kana ciringi 30 mwaka ũmwe ciroka 400 ma 20 o mwaka. Mbeca iria cirioyagwo nĩ arimũ cigatwarĩrwo kũrĩa aciari twana tũtũ kana gwĩka maũndũ mangĩ thukuru. Ira ũtienda wega we save 400,000 every year.
Mashua ningĩ nĩahithũrĩtie atĩ thukuru nyingĩ ikoretwo ikĩrĩha nginyagia 25,000 garama ya thitima oro mweri, ũndũ ũrĩa ugĩte nĩ mũrigo mũritũ.
Na tũrambĩrĩria gũkũ nĩtũgũcoka tũthiĩ Nduberi, twauma Nduberi tũthiĩ Rĩavai, na kũrĩa kũndũ gwĩtagwo Nduberi tũgũ-connect primary, secondary na kanitha.
Mũbango ũcio nĩ wamũkĩrĩtwo na gĩkeno kĩnene nĩ anyiti itemi othe rũhonge-inĩ rwa gĩthomo gĩcigo-inĩ kĩu, magĩtarĩria ũguni mũnene waguo.
Ũthii wa na mbere wonekaga hĩndĩ ĩrĩa kwa andũ mahota kwaranĩria na mahota kũnyitana hamwe. Mheshimiwa ndarutĩte pati yake, kanitha twĩna pati itũ, aciari mena pati yao, arimũ mena pati yao, arutwo mena pati yao.
Mwena-inĩ wake mwarimũ mũnene wa thukuru ũcio Alice Muchiri onake ndatigĩtwo na thutha harĩ kũgathĩrĩria tabarĩra ĩyo, akiuga onao aciari nĩ mekũhũthĩrio mũrigo mũnene ũrĩa ũramagomeire.
Tuangalie watoto wetu sana sana sana. Remember, they are our future. Huyu mtoto mnaona kama ni mdogo, mambo yake asipoenda vizuri, si bado atakaa na wewe nyumbani? Si bado ni mtoto wetu? Tuangalie watoto wetu ili wawe na nidhamu njema na nzuri, ili wawe watu who have a future.
Tabarĩra ĩyo ĩratwarithio na mbere kũhĩtũkĩra kĩgĩna kĩa ũkũria wa matũũra nĩkĩo NGCDF, itĩna rĩa mbere rĩkĩrongoreria thukuru cia mũingĩ cia kũinũkwo oro mũthenya. Ngĩgũithĩranĩria marĩa marahanĩka kaunti-inĩ ya Kiambu, rĩtwa rĩakwa nĩ Njaũ ya Kĩnuthia.
Nĩ ngatho Njaũ ya Kĩnuthia. Tũgĩthiĩ na mbere, andũ 38 nĩo mekĩrĩtwo mũkonde gũkua kumana na nguraro cia rithathi hĩndĩ ya mĩrũrũngano ya Sabasaba, gũkũ nao angĩ matanyihire 500 arĩa nĩ hamwe na maabitha a borithi marahonia nguraro itiganĩte. Ona kũrĩ ũguo, gĩkundi gĩa kũrũmbũiya ũgacĩru rũhonge-inĩ rwa borithi nĩgĩkũmithĩtie ũhũthĩri wa hinya mũkĩrũku, gũkũ makĩendekithia ũthuthuria wa naihenya wa gũkũrana maabitha arĩa monekire makĩagarara ihoto cia mũingĩ na arĩa mahũraga rithathi mĩciĩ-inĩ ya aikari. Reke tũthikĩrĩrie.
The process so far, you will know that many of these statistics come from the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights, and they have been available in the public domain. What we're about to describe is a fact-finding mission that we undertook to Kajiado County, which was, of course, one of the areas in which the highest number of fatalities. And just to mention, the 38 deaths that have been recorded by the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights essentially tell us that this was the most deadliest protest, I think, in the last year or so. It is over half the number of people who died in protests in 2024. So 38 is a very high number. We undertook a fact-finding mission to the neighboring town, to Gong and to the neighboring towns in Kajiado County, including Rongai, Kitengela, and Kiserian. And we have interviewed up to 20 eyewitnesses and victims families. And essentially what we have found was that there was a systematic use of live ammunition against unarmed civilians, extrajudicial killings, disappearances, and unlawful arrests. Witnesses report that armed men suspected to be members of the National Police Service or specialized security units arrived in unmarked Subaru SUVs, which had no license plates. The officers gave aggressive commands and indiscriminately fired live ammunition at both protesters and bystanders. Under the National Police Service Act, police officers are required to clearly issue warnings to the crowd, to use less lethal methods like tear gas, to use only proportional force, and to report every use of a firearm to their superior and to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. These shootings occurred in broad daylight and in densely populated areas. They have endangered and they claimed many lives. Soon after the shootings, eyewitnesses have told us that ambulances arrived at the scenes. Some witnesses saw injured bodies being loaded into the ambulances, which were then driven off to unknown locations. Disturbedly, several ambulances were seen trailing the unmarked Subarus, raising serious concerns about the coordination and the purpose of the response. To date, the Inspector General of Police has not identified those who are operating from the unmarked Subarus, their institutional affiliation, which unit they came from, or to make legal justification for the actions of these officers. There has been no explanation about who owns and operates the ambulances, why were they deployed alongside armed units, or the destination that they took after they transported the bodies. At the time of this statement, it is unclear whether the commanders in charge of deployment have reported to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority as is required by law. The lack of transparency continues to erode public trust and intensify fear of state-sponsored violence and enforced disappearances. Allow me to skip several eyewitness statements. This will be available in the statement that will be circulated to you. Let me turn to some of the reports that we've received of unlawful arrests.
Tugokire ripoti igie wonjoria kure minister wa wonjoria na iganda Hari Kinyanjui augite thirikari ni reka uria wothe ingihota ni gukuguciriria aigithia guku bururi-ini. Akiaria hindi ya icira riake mwena wa Tatu City County ya Kiambu, Kinyanjui augite mitaratara iria gathikitwo ni thirikari ya Kenya Kwanza ni kuguciriria aigithia aingi kuona ni iratwarana na wendi wao ta wonjoria.
Welcome. Thank you for being with us.
At the back of this we come in 2022.
Eyes on the cameras.
Globally, the idea is to create centers where people can live, work, their children can study there. So you reduce unnecessary movement, carbon emissions, and all those other things. So I think the concept of mixed use is really the future. If you say 5,000, you have effectively taken Upper Hill, Westlands, a bit of Parklands, so really it's quite huge. So the dream of a city, in my view, is very much in place. And I think as we move forward, anything that the government can do to try and accommodate this, because Nairobi was also planned and thought through over 100 years ago. Yes. We have a lot of schools in Kenya where a huge percentage of the students are actually local, but others are foreign. So it is true that education can be a foreign investment vehicle. Schools like Aga Khan, maybe Peponi here and all the others have very many students from out there. So I think if you also encourage, especially for the boarding schools, we stand an opportunity to attract. In my county, we have a school like Turi. It's like 60% are not even Kenyans. So if this is an area you also take up, I think it would work within our broader plan for education, not just for locals, but also for the region.
We're really the only city builders in Africa. We're certainly the biggest. We have 7 projects in 5 countries. And these are all city-scale projects like Tatu City. So 2 in Ghana, 2 in Nigeria, where we have a mega project in Lagos, which is extremely successful. A big project in DRC, where I was last week, and a project in Zambia called Roma Park, which is basically complete. We have no debt. We have these are 50-year.
Tukitigana na icio cia wonjoria riureke ngumenyithigie ciegie ungumania. Muthurimi wa mathabu ma thirikari ni ahithurĩtie mũbango ũrĩa ũkoretwo ũkĩhũthĩrwo nĩ maabitha ministry-inĩ ya gĩthomo nĩguo kungumia mamirioni ma mbeca cia mũingĩ iria igayagĩrwo mathukuru cia kũrũgamĩrĩra mahũthĩro ma arutwo kũrĩa augĩte harĩ ũthuthuria ũrĩa matabanĩtie mathukuru 83 mathukuru 14 ma maigĩrĩra nĩ makorekanĩte kana nĩ mamũkĩrĩte mũigana wa ciringi milioni 16.7 gũkũ mangĩ matandatũ marĩa marĩkĩtie kũhingwo mamũkĩrie ciringi 880 kuma kũrĩ thirikari. Riboti ĩno ĩtemanĩtio mbere ya kamĩtĩ ya mbunge ĩgiĩ gũthũrima kĩgĩna kĩa mũingĩ ĩgiĩ mahũthĩro ma mĩaka ya kĩgĩna ya 2020, 2021, 2022 na 2023. Reke tuthikĩrĩrie.
To not answer that question if I use the standing orders of the Senate, but I think I am with the by director. We will answer because we will answer all questions related to health because I know everything. This drug is one of the medicines that have been approved for pre-exposure for HIV. As we sit here, it has been approved by the US FDA, that is Food and Drug Authority. It's been endorsed by WHO only 2 days ago, and it's given as an injection every 6 months for the prevention of of HIV.
Na mwirori gushuga muhera ripoti yo ni agia na mutukano ni amwishio ni minister wa ugima wa mwiri Eden Duare no ripoti yo yegi ugumania ugaini wa kigine githomo ni gukurehera hinda ritari kuraya twabe tugukira ripoti yegi kuria minister wa urutwira wa muige Joyfrey Roko ni orotati arutwira thirikari ni kugodera wira-ine na ige kwaga kuingiraga wabicini na ceceni-ine ciao mathaa maria magireire undu uria hotometie motungata kuri muige na Roko ekwaragia hari kaunti-ini ya Nyeri thutha wa gucirira wabici itiganite cia muige kuri aruti wira aigi mategwikinyitie na athana mahingiririo nja akihinyiriria nime gutashukirio ikinya.
Enda mfunge zote. Hiyo zote za serikali mfunge gate ya kuingia. Sawa sawa? Lakini customer unamfungulia. Yule anafanya kazi anakaa hapo. Mombasa, in Nakuru, even here, the interns or those who are in attachment, most of them are in the offices at the required time. But most of us, wale ambao wamebobea, wale ambao wanasikia wamefika kwa serikali, they are not in the office at the required time. People to deliver services to the people of the Republic of Kenya is not the president alone. It's not the minister alone. It is all those people who are in offices from our division level to sub-county level, to location level, to county level, to the regional level, even to those headquarter offices in Nairobi and other places. If all of us in the government, we have this kind of attitude towards the work which we have been given by the people, because we are employed by the government of Kenya on behalf of the people of Kenya. When you are employed, you are qualified to do whatever you are doing in these offices, and we are not doing it, then tunaanza kusema rais afanye kazi. Rais atakuja hapa Nyeri kufanya kazi. Rais ataingia kupatiana IDs. Rais ataingia sijui these other county education offices which are empty. You will not do that. It is those who are employed by the government to ensure you do your work.
Aya, ucio ni minister wa urutwira wa muigi Joyfrey Roko. Twabe tuikirie no ne gucokereria na magi maigi.